Well, hello and happy Wednesday. How is everyone doing today? I hope well. You're all doing well. So, how are you feeling about getting your networking going like a champ this year? Well, this week on the Chill Business Journey, I share with you 4 different spaces in the online area where you can go and continue the networking, because even though we have vaccines rolling out for COVID, we're still going to need to be social distancing, not gathering in large groups, at least for the first 6 months of this year, if not 9 months or longer. So to keep on top of your networking, I share with you 4 different online platforms that you can use to keep that up and keep that going. You can get all of that in this week's episode on the Chill Business Journey at chilldigitalmarketing.com/77. And the 4 places that I share are Eventbrite, Meetup, Facebook events, and LinkedIn events. So head on over to the website to listen to the episode, as well as snag those tidbits of information I share with you. I also want to remind you that the Chill Business Society doors are open, and that's a way that you can get ongoing support with your digital marketing throughout the year. Every month we have a different topic, and this month is networking in 2021, but we're taking a deeper dive in the society than I do on the podcast episodes. Now let's take a look at our week in review. In Facebook news, they have updated the Access Your Information tool on their platform. There used to be 2 different categories that the data was segregated into, and now they have 8 or 9. So check that out if you want to see an updated tool on how you can see how your information is being used on the platform, their way of giving more transparency. And then they also started a new civil rights organization within the company, and they have selected Roy Austin, a civil rights attorney, to be the VP of that department or organization within the group. So that's exciting news. And they have also stepped up their monitoring of posts that violate their terms of service. And this is ahead of the U.S. inauguration. Many of you are aware we had civil unrest and rioting at the Capitol last week. So this is their attempt to kind of stay ahead of the game for our upcoming inauguration of our new president here in our country. And then they also released 7 tips on how to create better experiences for your audience on Messenger. So think of things like more concise responses and things like that. So they have 7 great tips that you should go check out for that. In Twitter news, this first thing is probably going to make my sons very proud of this latest Twitter stat, and that is tweets about games were over 2 billion in 2020, and that's a 75% increase over 2019. Japan came in first as the first country with the most gaming tweets, and the US was right behind them with the second. And then my youngest son would actually be even more proud of this stat, that Animal Crossing was the most tweeted about game on Twitter. So I wonder how many of those 2 billion tweets were about Animal Crossing. Now, no matter your political stance, it bears mentioning the permanent suspension of the @real Donald Trump account. And the reason I bring this up is because it is a reminder for all of us that utilize these other platforms as forms of communication for our businesses to make sure we are abreast and knowledgeable of their current terms of services, because those things change often. And so it's real. They can crack down if you are using these tools for your business. And sometimes businesses get shut down by mistake. So learn their terms of services, learn their processes if you are closed down in error. So it's just a good reminder as business owners that we need to be on top of those things. And then they also released a statement outlining what they have done on their platform since the DC riots and what they are doing to slow down the amount of disinformation that's out there, also in preparation for our inaugurations coming up. In Pinterest news, they have shared how people have changed the way they shop for tech. We all shopped a certain way years ago, but those times have changed. And the key point with this is learning your customer's journey if you are a business that sells tech and what they go through in that process. But the key thing that applies to Pinterest is that first step that they do, and that's the product research. So take a look at the article that they have on that so that you know how that product research starts, so you can make sure you're going to be front and center on their platform. In LinkedIn news, they shared some video marketing trends in 2021 that you should be on the lookout for. And one of the things that we should all be prepared for is to expect the unexpected. So, whether that's if you're doing a live video and something happens or some other situation. And they also released a report that's called Jobs on the Rise report, and it's showcasing 15 of the fastest growing job trends from 2020 and into 2021 and the skills you would need to land them. So that is another article you should definitely check out. And they also did some research on their platform and looked for the 5 most hard and soft skill courses that people took that landed them jobs, and they're making those free to people now. In YouTube news, they have released their hashtag YouTube Black Voices class of 2021. And this is where they showcase 132 Black creators and artists on their platform from all over the world, so many different countries. And this was created to help support them in the coming months to grow their businesses and their voice on the YouTube platform. This was all spawned by the hashtag YouTube Black Voices Fund that was started last year and able to support these classes year after year. And this week, in this week's Allyship segment of the week, what I wanted to do was showcase the 36 talented and inspiring members of this hashtag YouTube Black Voice class of 2021, but from the US. So go check out those individuals and, go support them in whatever their endeavors are, whether it's liking their videos or buying their products or services. You can find the links to all of this news at chilleddigitalmarketing.com/week in review. Alrighty, that is it for this week's news. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye for now.